It's second string, but we don't never sit the bench. Rising stars of the radio, now watch as we ascend. Second string telling the truth, there's no need to take offense. Grant Jake Logan in the booth, so you better pay attention.
All right. Welcome to the first ever episode of Second String Sports, the podcast. Doing our official Oregon State football season preview here.
Got a big show.
Big show. We want to do a quick introduction for the new podcast listeners or the returning Second String Sports radio listeners. I'm Jake McGrady.
Logan McGinnis.
Grant Ocampo.
And all the way from Southern California, I am Jeff Lowe.
And we are all recent Oregon State graduates. For those of you who don't know, we did a little radio show at Oregon State called Second String Sports. Pretty much,
We've evolved.
We were little mini celebrities on campus. Couldn't really walk down the street without getting our sports opinions asked.
Mini celebrities is kind of the nice way of putting it, Jake. We were sports radio gods.
Yeah, that's a correct way of putting it. Anyways, for the returning listeners or the listeners, now this isn't radio, so we're not shouting out a morning or evening or whatever, so you could be listening to this, while you're showering, or
on your drive to work,
while you're taking a shit, anything. And as you noticed there, we are not on radio anymore, so we're not filtered. So
we don't have to worry.
A minute in, and Jake's already cursing.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the FCC regulations anymore. So
we don't care. We don't give a shit.
There you go, Jake.
So now you're gonna get the real Jake McGrady and Jeff.
I want to
Lowe.
set a little bet here.
Ooh, a little bet.
All right. Over the course of this show, how many times will Jake curse?
This is a podcast now, so we could get a little counter going at the end of the show. But I'm gonna go under 15
per show. I'll take the over.
You're probably gonna be right.
That's a
there,
Ben
right?
Affleck, not Ben Simmons show right there.
Yeah, but through the power of technology now, we got Jeff Lowe coming in from Los Angeles, and then the three of us here back in Oregon. So I guess just a little teaser for the podcast. We don't really have a set schedule yet. Once we sort of get, this is literally like our test official show. Just talking Beaver football. We got a big game Thursday against Minnesota, which is what we're going to be getting into for this show. But you can keep up with us on the Twitter at Second String Sports. That's sports with a Z. Now that we're not, sports with a Z. At Second String Sports.
Now that we're not KBVR affiliated, we had to add that Z.
Whoever at Second String Sports spelled correctly is on Twitter. You're an asshole. So.
There we go. We're up to 2.
Go run your car for
That's
bridge.
3. That's 3 now.
3. Okay,
three or 4.
Yeah, whatever. If you want to tweet the counter at us, you can. But you can follow our socials if you want us to talk about certain topics in a podcast that you want to listen to on the way to work, before a game, etc. You can hit us up on our Twitter, as people did during our radio show. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. We're just going to talk sports, life.
Have a fun time.
This is the podcast, unfiltered. Who knows how many episodes we'll do per week, but we'll knock them out and, get that timely, raw sports debates coming at you. Hopefully, we're going to keep up the trend. If you were a big Second String Sports radio listener, you noticed towards the end of our show, we had some pretty GOAT guests on. Mike Barrett, last interview as a Trailblazer on our show. Wayne Tinkle. Not his last interview as a Beaver, but still our show. It was pretty epic, so we're going to hopefully continue the trend of guests on the podcast as well.
Absolutely.
We just have to figure out that technology part of it first, because we struggled figuring this out today, but we'll get there.
Our technology, I don't really know what you want to call it. We're going to call it a company, whatever you want, whatever it is.
We're a business, man. Come on, Jeff.
Yeah, our technology right now is lacking, to say the least, but we're getting it done.
We're getting it done, and that's just how it's going to roll. All right, so if you guys want to kick right into it, we got Beaver football. Let's get to talking.
First game of the season, September 1st. It'll be tomorrow for us. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure when you guys are
Hopefully you guys are listening to this tomorrow. We shall get it out.
If you're not, Thursday, September 1st, Beavers kick off at Minnesota, those pesky Golden Gophers.
6 p.m. Pacific time, Big Ten Network.
Stupid ass channel.
Ding ding. Another
I try to restrict myself, but I couldn't. It should, yeah. If you have the channel, hopefully you do. Hopefully you'll be watching, but
So
I have it. I'll be watching. I'm ready to go.
Live from
I'm
LA. I like it.
Gonna try to leave work at a reasonable time so I can get home and watch this game. There's nothing like the first game of the season.
yeah, so right now, spread on the game is Minnesota favored by 13.
I think that's reasonable for a spread at this point. If we rewind back to last year, Beavers 2-10, and still rebuilding, losing a lot of key pieces here in the offseason due to graduation, medical retirements, transfers, yeah. And so it's been a tough offseason for the Beavers, but we have gotten some key pieces.
You know what's really sad about that, Logan? You can't really say that we had anybody leave for the NFL. We had
True.
people graduate; they just didn't go to the NFL.
I think
Siamalu,
kinda sad.
but
Sumalu and Peya.
Yeah.
But yeah, still, but either that, we are looking at maybe another struggle season, but I think it's definitely going to pick it up. We got a dog barking.
Nice feature.
There's a dog barking already. That is
the-
Baxter.
What's the
It's
Baxter?
okay. Baxter's.
Baxter.
It's like Baxter
You know-
from Anchorman, right?
That's exactly why. Is
that literally what he was named after?
He looks just like the dog from Anchorman.
I respect that. Epic
And-
movie.
Great movie. That's my girlfriend Haley Leonard's dog Baxter. He's a cute little mutt, lovable little guy, just kind of running around the house. He just protects the house. That's all. it is.
Real question is, Jeff, have you ever had any instances where you felt tempted to punt him off the bridge like Jack Black did in Anchorman?
Nah, man, I'm not Jack Black.
Jack?
It's nothing but love with
Pretty sure
me,
you did
with
that,
me and
though.
Baxter.
I don't know. This podcast is going to be all over. We'll have a movie section in the future as well. So
Oh, I love the
I
idea.
know
of a
Logan
section.
can go off on that forever.
I think we can do a movie.
Logan can have his own TV show review segment on the show.
We can do TV.
Why the
We
hell
can
not?
do movies. We can do relationship advice, love life.
All the way from LA, Jeff's love life.
Oh, I'm not going to be talking about my love life, but I
No, I know.
I can offer up advice to people
From the LA perspective, from the
from
the
LA
the
perspective,
SoCal.
because everything's so different in Southern California compared to Portland.
I mean,
Okay, so let's get back. on track.
let's get back.
Logan did not like that. All right, let's get
This is vintage second string sports radio show. All the way
vintage second string. Jake and I go off on a tangent. Logan has to rope us back
Yep,
in.
I had to rope everybody back in. Okay, so we're going into this game on Thursday.
Yeah.
Minnesota Gophers, pesky little Gophs.
Stupid ass name.
So the Gophers came into this game from last season 6-7, and
Yep.
they have a solid defense. And from what I've read, also that recently here, they have a offense that's kind of iffy. They got a couple running backs that can produce, and their starting quarterback, I can't remember his name exactly right now, but from what I've read, some Gopher fans are not a fan of their starting quarterback. So I think in that sense, it gives us a little bit of chance, but we're going to have to, our offense is definitely going to have to perform against Minnesota's strong defense.
yeah, and when you look at Minnesota from last year, I mean, they were probably a little bit better than the record showed. I mean, they played number 3 Ohio State at the time and lost by 2 touchdowns. It was 28-14, but they hung tough. They played Iowa, number 5, well. They only lost by 5. So, I mean, it's a good team. And, I'm not entirely sure on all the returners and all that, but they obviously have some seniors. I think they were the 13th ranked as far as least amount of seniors on their team. I read that, but we're also up there. We're a young
to that
team
point.
also.
To that point, Grant, we had, I believe, 67 freshmen last year, which was, I think, that we were like the 9th youngest team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring a lot of guys back as sophomores, which is promising, which is something you want to see when you're rebuilding like this. But it's still yet to be seen how that's going to translate. We saw in the spring game, Beavers looked okay. Daryl Garrettson looked like he's understanding the offense. The offense. It looks like him and Villeman are on track. They're really in sync right now. So we'll see. I think the key to the whole offense is going to be the run game. We couldn't really run the ball last year, and we still don't really have the running back. We don't really have a running back right now. Ryan Nall had a big game in the Civil War, but he's been kind of inconsistent, and he's only a sophomore. So
Yeah. Exactly. I think using Null and one of their speed backs will definitely be a key factor going into the season. But yeah, I think you're definitely hit the right point there, Jeff, where the running game will still be very tough to come by, but I do think that we will surprise teams with the passing game.
I think so too. We have, Villeman's a senior. Victor Bolden's in his third year in Corvallis.
Villeman's a junior.
Oh, he's not even a senior?
Yeah.
He's got 2 more years.
Just feel like he's been there forever.
Villeman's a junior. Bolden also a junior. You got some veterans at receiver. Bolden, I don't know about Bolden. He kind of struggled last year acclimating to the new offense with Gary Anderson. So I'm not entirely sure. But the year before that, as a true freshman, he had 74 catches. So under Mike Riley. So if we can see a little more of an improvement out of Bolden, I think that'd be nice. But again, we're going into this season with a lot of unknowns. We don't really know what to expect out of the Beavers yet. I don't know what to expect out of our defense, for example.
Well, yeah, I think you're on the right track there. I think our offense is going to be much better from last year. I think that a steady quarterback is going to help a lot. I mean, when you look at it, we rotated through 3 separate guys last year. No one could get in a groove. Daryl Garrettson has 2 years of college ball under his belt. He kind of knows, what it takes to play D1. He's had a whole season to get kind of acclimated with these receivers, on scout team, having to sit out that year transferring. I think he's going to help a lot, and he's a big key to the season success. Major key. I think the defense, though, that's a bigger question mark. Our receivers, our quarterback, that should be pretty solid. The defense is really young, though.
Mm-hmm. So who are you most excited to see this upcoming season that is a new player coming in, or just a transfer player, or a new freshman coming in?
Could you consider Seth Collins as, new at the position, not a new player, but new at the position? Is that personally who I'm most excited? Daryl Garrettson obviously at quarterback, but Seth starting tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What do you guys expect to see from him in the season opener?
I'm excited to see Seth.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him too, and I definitely I'll go with it could be, there could be a game where he could have ultimately a crazy performance, and I think we'll see that in some games where you can see a passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown in the same game, or
and a receiving touchdown too,
and a receiving touchdown. Yeah, so you can see any of these. I think that Seth, as much as last year was kind of crazy for him, I think this year he'll definitely figure it out and kind of mature into the positions.
Yeah.
He's going to be all over the field. That's going to be exciting because you just don't know. He can play pretty much anywhere. Mm-hmm. That's going to be exciting to me.
Definitely a guy I'll give you to look out for. I think, Jake, you hit on a good point there with Seth. He's not technically a newcomer, but
it's like we can almost consider it,
Oh, exactly, yeah. A guy I really want to see is Trevin Bradford out of Oregon City. Right. He was an early enrollee. He played in the spring game, and he had 2 touchdowns.
He earned that starting spot, too.
Exactly. He's a big play threat freshman, so he's still young. Don't know how he'll transfer over, but I'm excited to see him play.
Another guy, I agree with you, Jeff. I'm switching kind of to the defensive side of the ball. A lot of hype in the preseason. Elu Adon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but he's playing nose tackle.
Disclaimer.
And yeah, he's a new guy. He redshirted last year, and apparently he's been really impressive. They almost brought him off the red shirt last year, but they're pretty glad that they almost played him and brought him off the red shirt. But they're kind of glad they waited to get him another year. I think he's going to be good for our defensive line. He was a commit to Wisconsin and switched over when Gary Anderson came over. So I don't know. I'm excited to see him on defense. He's big, 6'3", 327 is what he's listed
boy.
at.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think he's going to help on the D-line, putting some pressure on.
Yeah, I'm with Jeff. I'm excited to see Bradford step in and kind of take that slot receiver type of role, run those sweeps. And kind of get those tough yardage where you can have Bolden and you can have Villeman with the deep balls and across the middle. And I think having Bradford in there, that's I'm excited to see kind of what they can do with him in the offense, and especially with Garrettson at quarterback.
Definitely. I mean, I'm excited to see our receivers. The only issue I have with them is outside of Villeman, we don't have any size. I mean, Villeman's a monster. He's 6'5", 240. But you go Hunter Jarman, Victor Bolden, Trevin Bradford, all guys under 6 foot, all guys under, 190 pounds. They're all speed guys. And we'll see how that works out. I'm not fully sure yet. Hunter Jarman, another guy who had a good spring game, had a good spring practice, but hasn't had a whole lot of playing time in games, even though he's been on campus for 3 years now, I believe. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting tomorrow night.
What you crunching on over there, Jeff?
I am crunching on some Scooby-Doo fruit snacks.
That's the best thing you could have been munching on.
See, this is the point for all of our returning listeners. When I had my infamous soundboard when we were a radio show, this is probably the point when I don't know, what would I have pressed at that situation? Something to make
Probably like
something
a
to make
breaking
fun
news
of.
eagle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna have to
breaking
come up.
food eagle.
We're gonna have to come up with some new post production sound effects because I went pretty loose with that eagle.
Yeah, and you
Or
know
the
what? This
horn.
is something back in the old studio we couldn't eat. So
And now we do whatever we want. So
take that, KBVR.
All right, I got a poll question for you guys, and
All right.
if anybody else who listens to this later on, you can tweet us at Secondary Sports. Who will?
With a Z.
Yeah, with a Z.
With a Z.
Which receiver do you guys believe is going to lead the Beavers in maybe receiving or all-purpose yards? Bolden, Villeman, Bradford,
Collins.
or Collins?
You want me to start?
yeah, start the train.
All right. I'll go Villeman. I think Collins will be a close second. I think just judging by the spring game and judging by when we had Villeman on the show, actually, he was really excited for Garrettson, and that showed in the spring game. They were really on the same page. 2 long touchdowns. Villeman is a huge asset if you can get him the ball in the right spot. He's just
Literally
so
and
much bigger
figuratively.
than everyone
Literally,
and can
yeah.
go up over you. And I think it's going to be ultimately Villeman just because I think they've had more time to be on the same page. But like I said, Collins.
He's
can't
like the
be
wild card.
overlooked either.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. He's too good of an athlete to ever doubt out in something like that.
Sure.
Oregon State College Odell. Not in playing style, but in type of year.
Well, hey,
I don't
I'll
know.
say this: he made the smartest move he could have possibly made by coming back and switching
What
to
was it,
receiver.
D3 quarterback or
Yeah.
D1 wide receiver?
Yeah, it's like
Don't be an idiot.
you eventually saw you
be
have
an idiot.
millions of dollars sitting here possibly in the NFL if you switch to wide receiver. I mean, you're that good of an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he realized.
And he
finally.
came back and said, I made a mistake. I'm here to earn.
Funny
my trust
thing
back.
is,
And
he
that's
never
the best
even
thing he could have done.
He never even left the school, which is so he left the team, but he just sort of had that realization where he had to go back to the team and coach and ask for it back.
That to me right there, I think was the craziest part because once it came out that he was transferring, I remember going to Dixon and playing pickup hoops with Seth Collins.
Oh, and he
Yeah,
was
it
still
was busy.
wearing his Beaver gear.
And he's still wearing his Beaver gear,
all
and I'm
over,
just
yeah.
like, dude, what the hell? I thought you transferred. Side note, he's not that good of a baller, but
Are you better, Jeff?
I don't know if I'd say I'm better, but I mean,
Nah, breaking news.
if we
Jeff
played
says he's better.
1-on-1, if we played 101, I would not be afraid.
You back him
Ask
down in the
OG.
post?
Ask OG. OG's. I played with OG.
He was
Jeff's
Seth-
like a white Ben Wallace.
Oh, are we talking about Jeff or are we talking about
Hype
Seth
Ben
Collins
Wallace
right now?
I'd
Seth
take
Collins,
like a white Rasheed Wallace.
Seth Collins
Nah,
is
Ben Wallace.
in basketball, he's really athletic and can get to the rim, but he just can't really finish or shoot. I mean, it's
Definitely.
yeah.
But I my prediction, I'm gonna have a hot take here and say Seth does get the most receiving yards,
Oh.
strictly because of the his ability just to run and get yards after the catch, and I think
Well,
that's
see,
good.
I can totally see
Yeah,
that.
so that's my prediction.
I like it. See, in post production, or if this was radio, we would have had a hot take sound effect there.
Boom, hot take.
Ooh, we need a hot take sounder.
Yeah, we need a hot take sound effect. Oh, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the show. You'll hear it as our intro and our transition. That is officially our old intro, but we're using it for now. So sorry to offend all of the Jeff Lowe fans for him not being mentioned in the the theme song. But
They've been clamoring for me to get into that.
we've been hassled for months now to have the new theme song released that officially mentions Jeff Lowe.
So let's kind of wrap it up here, or like in this topic. So we
Okay.
got the Beavers and the Gophers on Thursday.
Thursday night.
Who you guys got?
Well, I mean, come on, Beavers. I mean, would this really be an Oregon State podcast if we didn't choose the Beavers?
I mean,
Jake.
I mean,
you
you are from LA, so I'm just saying.
Hey, I'm not from Minnesota.
If you look at the schedule, and we'll go over the schedule.
Minnesota's
we'll
or
make
Oregon State's?
Our schedule.
Okay.
If you go over our schedule here, we'll give our predictions here, early season prediction going on. But if you look at our schedule later, we'll do that. This is a game that if we want to get a victory outside of a conference, this would be a huge one. Like, this would be a huge victory.
Especially just confidence boosting going into the season.
Exactly. And from what I've read, this is definitely a game that we can pick up and we can surprise some people. But I guess if I'm going to start a prediction off here, I'm going to say it's going to be close. But I think we might be a little bit short and maybe a touchdown short. So I'm going to go 28-21.
Beavs.
Minnesota Gophers.
You know,
Starting off the podcast on a hated note.
Logan, you mentioned the spread earlier, 13 points. If you know Vegas, it means basically if we're playing on a neutral site, it's 10 point. It's a 10-point game. If we're playing at home, we're only a 7-point dog.
Exactly. I think if we play this game at home, I would give us the victory on that, but it's not, and I think that's the tough part.
Yeah, I can't argue with that there. I think you're right.
Yeah, but
Sadly.
hey, there is familiar. Gary Anderson. He's familiar with this Minnesota Gopher team. He, playing or coaching at Wisconsin. He knows.
Beat him a few times before.
Yeah, so he knows. He kind of knows how to play here. Maybe gives the guys little inside tips about what to look forward to. But
these week one games are unpredictable. I mean, like,
Very unpredictable.
you don't
Right.
know.
I mean,
yeah.
Grant, you're absolutely right. I mean, to that point, Oregon State's had time to game plan for this game ever since their season ended. You know, so I mean, same with Minnesota, and you never know how this is going to happen. The best year in my 5 years at Oregon State, the best year we had was when we came off a 3-win season, and everyone picked us to finish, ninth in the Pac-12.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Brandon Cooks won the Bolitnikoff, I think. Or no, that was with Marcus. It was when Marcus Wheaton was there. But Wheaton and Cooks went off. Mannion had the best season a Beaver quarterback has ever had. And we got up to 8th in the country. So I'm not saying, we're going to finish the season in the top 10. But you never know with Oregon State. You never know with this team. And we'll find out. We'll find out come week one. Because with that team back in 2012, we beat Wisconsin to start the season. So beat a Big Ten team. Granted, was at home. We'll see how it goes tomorrow night.
I got a question for you guys, too. I'm reading an article right here. I got a Gary Anderson quote here in a sec. But how apparent do you guys think just the team attitude and atmosphere is this year coming off of, the 2-win season, 0-9 in Pac-12, Gary Anderson's second year? How much of a difference do you think we see off the gate, just confidence level?
Personally, I see a big confidence boost. I think a lot of that is honestly the new facilities, I think, help a lot.
Yeah, we forgot to mention that. Amazing new facilities,
Yeah, if you
by
guys
the way.
haven't seen the pictures of the new facilities, the locker room, there's a players' lounge coming soon.
That's for a whole nother show,
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. We're not going to get too deep into that, but the pictures are amazing.
Yep.
It's like state-of-the-art stuff. And honestly, that's huge as far as recruiting and confidence level, because it's kind of that feel good, look good, play good type mindset thing. I think that, seeing all that new stuff and seeing how many people actually support them probably just drives them. And, this is really a chance to start over from last season. I mean, obviously it wasn't the type of season that everyone would have hoped for if you're around the program.
Yeah.
But now it's, you're 0-0 again, and it's a new season, new chance. So I don't know. Going back to the game predictions, I think Beavs pull out a close one tomorrow. I'm going to say 24-21 Beavs.
I like it.
Nice.
I think it's going to be a close game, one of those that can go either way. I think Beavers just come out with that improved mindset, just like I was talking about, and I think they steal one week one.
Jake, what do you think?
Basically what I was just prompting you guys about the confidence level, I think that this is going to be a game that, as Logan was saying, what was the spread you gave that you think?
I said 28 to 21.
28-21.
But this Vegas has the line at 13.
Vegas has the line at 13. I think Oregon State comes out. I'm predicting a big game from Darryl Garrettson. You know, that first appearance is, you know, new division.
See, I think kind of a total opposite.
You think shaky Garrettson?
I think we'll definitely see somewhat of a nervous kind of Garrettson in this first game.
Okay.
coming in, I know he's got 2 years of experience, but you know he's got something to prove, not just to the team, but you know to
himself, to the league,
to himself, to the
Pac-12,
to the Pac-12, to the fans. And I think that's going to be a little jittery for him. So I think we'll see a little bit of a cold streak coming out of the gate from Garrettson. I think that's what's going to kind of get us a little bit. But you know, going deeper into the season, you'll see Garrettson get into a rhythm. And
I really like what I've seen so far. So
Yeah, definitely, Logan. To that point, I agree with that. I think this first game is going to be a little shaky to start for Garrettson.
Oh, it's definitely going to be shaky.
And I think we're really going to see Garrettson take off come week 2 when we play Idaho State at home. So by the time we're playing Boise State week 3, also at home, unveiling the new Valley Football Center, I think Garrettson's going to be rearing and ready to go. But I think you're right. That first game is it's just going to be a little too shaky in the beginning, and it'll be that little setback that prevents us from winning this game.
I think I'm going to go 21-17 Beavs.
There we go.
Shaky start from Garrettson, but I think he really dazzles in the finish.
I think Null's gonna have a good year too.
We haven't touched on that.
Don't think we can overlook Null. He's
yeah,
he's one of those bruiser type backs who
those 2 games that he had last year,
and
really the end of the season, but
yeah, especially versus Oregon. I mean, if you remember that game,
Civil War.
I think he can help carry us in some of these games, even when Garrettson is shaky.
Do you know if they've totally announced the second tier back, whether it's Cook or Pierce?
I think it said Pierce or Cook, so I think it's kind of a game time thing.
Yeah,
Well, what
it has
about
been
Chris
for
Brown? Chris Brown's still there,
He
right?
he medically retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Brown medically
Shoot,
retired.
that's right.
Yeah.
I can say shit. Shit, that's right.
Yeah. There you go, Jeff. Feels good, don't it?
It does feel good.
All right, Jeff, what was your spread on the game? I don't think we got that.
You're right. I didn't. I picked the Beavers to win. I didn't give a score. Beavers. I'm gonna go Beavers. If they're gonna win, they gotta win ugly. So I'm gonna go 24-21 Beavers.
Wow, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, something in that wheelhouse. It's gotta be. If they're gonna win, it's gonna be an ugly one. It's not gonna be. They're not gonna blow them out. It's not gonna be 56-24 or anything like that.
It wouldn't be Beaver fashion if it wasn't an ugly
right,
one.
and I wouldn't expect them to get to, I wouldn't expect them to get to 30. Going back, I don't want to keep going back to the 2012 season, but that first week of the season against Wisconsin, I think we won like 14-6. So it's going to be something like that.
All right. So now that we got this game in, let's kind of, since it's always fun to give a little hot take predictions for the seasons, and we can go game by game and just kind of roll by real quick, and we can see how many victories the Beavs will get during this season in our minds. So, Jeff, you already have the Beavs with 1 win. Do they get a win against Idaho State?
Yeah, I think that's a given. I mean, we did not have a good team last year. Let's call a spade a spade. We were still able to beat Weber State. So I think we're good enough to beat Idaho State.
Yep. I think, do we have a full round here that, if we had to win a game and we're going to win a game? Idaho State.
Damn right.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I guess I'm the only one that has the Beavs at their
1-1.
And 1-1.
Everyone else 2-0.
I think that's a game where we'll see Garrettson really take stride. First home game. I think we'll see Garrettson let the ball loose in that game.
What the hell is Idaho State's mascot? A tiger?
It's
Sun tiger?
It's a tiger. It's a tiger.
They're tigers in Idaho?
No, they don't have tigers in Idaho.
Yeah, there's wild tigers.
Do they have
Bullshit.
lakes in Los Angeles? No.
Shut the hell up.
Do they have jazz in Utah? No.
Jazz is a music form, Jeff. Utah could be a very jazzy state.
You think Utah is a very jazzy state, Jake?
I mean,
the Mormons.
we don't know
down
what
with the
Mormons
jazz.
listen to. I personally think Mormons probably listen to silence, but
Silence.
All right, we don't need to go down that road, but
Hey, unfiltered raw, second string sports. Get at me, dish.
All right.
Boise State.
Boise State. What we got here?
That's a
OG,
question
what are you
mark.
thinking?
OG.
I know Shipley retired.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I think that the Beavers win 4 games on the season.
Okay,
so,
that's it?
So yeah, we'll do
So you're
that.
going-
Tell us the games you think they win.
Okay, yeah,
That-
we'll do
we'll
it
do
this
that.
way because
This is gonna
it's
be
harder
tough.
for me
It's going to take way too long to go game by game, and besides,
Yeah, let's
we got a
what
whole
games
season
we
to break
thi-
down all these games.
We're the
Yeah.
Beavs. It's
Yeah,
shorter
so-
if we say what
so
games
Grant,
we
give-
think we'll win.
I'm not positive on this order or like the games will win.
All
I
right.
think we win 4 though, but I think we win Minnesota and Idaho State. Okay, we're opening up
2-0.
2-0.
Great start to the season. Already tied the number of wins we got
Um,
last season. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a win versus Cal.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
Wow.
So
there you go.
Is that a loss? So you're saying we lose to Colorado then?
yeah,
Yeah.
you're saying we lose to Colorado.
I think
Well,
that's
on the
gonna be-
road, on the road.
Yeah, on the road.
Yeah, it's on the road, but still.
They're still not a bad
That if
team.
I give a
They've
Pac-12
improved.
win
They
for us
beat
to
us.
win, I give it that.
I agree. I agree. I
You
mean,
don't?
okay. Here's the
sorry,
thing.
Logan.
I think they win 4 games, so I'm kind of just picking.
True.
yeah.
What
All
I-
right, what are they? Give us
So you
what
got
they
your
are.
2 already,
So,
or your 3.
Well, 3.
Cal,
and then
Minnesota, Idaho State.
I think we win the Civil War versus Oregon.
Holy
There we go.
shit!
That's a hot take.
Make my own soundbite because
Yeah,
in that
all right.
situation I would have clicked the applause soundbite.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
thanks.
Well, I think I got 4 as well. I got Idaho State.
Okay.
I do say we win Colorado.
Okay.
I'm being optimistic on that one.
All right.
Here's my big one though. We win Cal at home. I think you said that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he
yeah.
gave us Cal too.
Okay, Cal.
That's 3, Logan.
Yep. And then I think we win Arizona.
Arizona.
Late in the season.
I can see that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can see the Arizona and possibly getting up to 5 too. I can see that.
Yeah. So
All right. So
Jake, what are you thinking?
I was listening to 2 Chainz on the work today, so I am feeling different as I can be. So you guys all gave us 4 wins.
Yep.
I'll be different. I'm gonna give us a 6-win season.
So isn't that that's
Ooh, so we're going
You're
bowling.
You're bowling.
I'm bold. I'm like what's the bold analogy? Like a computer when you like need to make the lines bigger.
Nice. It's a great analogy.
That was shitty.
I'm lost. I'm completely
Also,
lost.
I just
Microsoft Word
It
style.
just popped in my mind too. When Jake first entered this podcast, he went with an all right, going off with a little Matthew McConaughey too.
That was a little subtle plug for any second string sports radio fans because that was a very frequent.
I forgot to mention it
soundbite on the
earlier.
show. Shout out Matthew McConaughey. Great movie. Anyways,
Great movie. Dazed and Confused.
I'm gonna go 6 wins. Here's what I got. I got Minnesota and Idaho State, as I already mentioned. I got Colorado, so that's 3. We're gonna lose to Boise State. That's what I'm predicting. I'm gonna give us Cal as well. I like where you guys are going with that. So those are my 4 games. I'm gonna give us Washington State.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know if we beat Luke Falk, but okay.
I'm giving us Washington State. It's a home game, so October 29th, Halloween weekend.
Luke Falk's too much. Best quarterback in the Pac-12.
I don't know. I think that
Ooh, also
Chill.
debatable.
Chill.
or Logan.
I'm just going. We'll all be there, or Jeff might. That's a question. We don't know what games Jeff's going to be at, but all of us at least. Halloween weekend. I think the atmosphere will be great. Night game, obviously. I hope. So what do I have so far? Minnesota, Idaho State, Colorado,
Kick
Cal,
flustered.
Washington State, and I like where Grant was going. Shit, Oregon. I'm taking the Civil War. Civil War in Corvallis. I believe in good mojo. We're speaking
Okay.
into existence.
Okay, so that
Screw
yeah,
it.
Dang. All right, Jeff. What do
6
you got?
wins, Civil War.
6
All
wins. You got to beat. Can you
So-
beat 6?
You gonna up me, Jeff? You got it up on that?
I can't beat 6, but I'll go Minnesota, Idaho State, Colorado. So I'm saying we start the season off 3-1,
I like.
possibly 4-1 because I think we beat Cal. I don't
Be
think
confident, Jeff. 4-1. Say it.
I'll go 4-1.
There you
I
go.
don't think Cal's anything special, but this is where it gets tricky. I don't think we beat Utah.
No way.
Don't think we beat Washington. Don't think
Nope.
we beat Washington State. Don't think we beat Stanford. So that's 1, 2, 3.
So you guys have 4 wins with
4.
3 games
So
left
we're-
on the season.
We're now 4-5 at that point with 3 games to
Not
go.
bad.
not bad. We're in bowl contention. That's UCLA, Oregon State, and Oregon left. It means we got to win 2 of the 3.
So I'm the only one here who has us going to a bowl game
I think we
so
get to
far.
5. I think we
never
beat
mind.
Arizona. I don't think we beat Oregon. And UCLA is going to be close.
No.
But I just don't think we're good enough to beat UCLA right now.
I don't think
so.
the UCLA game is
I'm going 5 wins.
all.
Have you guys seen the Rosen in the media? He's looking like a Johnny Manziel meltdown-esque type.
A little different, but
So-
I get where you're going.
Yeah, it's a little different, honestly.
Fo-H.
Okay.
The fans know where I was coming
right.
from.
So there's our scheduled predictions. So now also let's go with we're gonna round the show off here real soon. In about
Break it down right here.
Yeah, in about 4 minutes. So,
You guys might be getting to work at this point. So.
give us your team that's going to win the Pac-12.
Win the Pac-12?
That's a toughie.
I gotta look at
Well,
some
Logan, why don't
schedules
you
in
start
that
it
case.
off?
I feel like Logan has something in mind.
I do have a team that hasn't really won in the Pac-12 in a while. I don't know when the last time they won it, but I
think I know what you're going
This has
at.
been a hot. A lot of people have been up on them, and I read an article on them as well. They've switched a couple players from defense to offense, and they've got a lot of good recruits and a great defense. Washington will win the Pac-12.
Wow.
Ooh, Logan, I highly disagree.
All right, I'll take that.
Let me take the ice out of my mouth.
All right, Browning.
I highly disagree with that. Washington is the most overrated team in the country, and I'll tell you why. People are buying into this freshman crap from last year that, what's his name? I want to say Jeff Lindquist, but I know that's not right. Jake Browning.
Jake
Browning is all of a sudden going to take this next step and lead Washington to be
I see it.
top 10 team. Bullshit. Jake Browning is not going to do a damn thing. All right,
Jake
Washington constantly underperforms. 2 years ago, seven draft picks on a defense. They won 6 games. Chris Peterson will not do anything with his team. Washington is overhyped, overrated. Will not win the Pac-12.
Okay,
you can
all right.
guarantee it. Take it to Vegas. Book it now.
So who do you
Print
have,
the
Jeff?
shirts.
Who do you have?
I
Jeff
got
done
Stanford.
snapped. Stanford?
See,
Stanford wins the Pac-12. I think
Such
they're
a
the best
safe
team.
pick, though.
They're the best team. They have the best offensive line. They
I
have
don't
the
disagree
best,
with the O-line, but
Stanford has the best player in the conference.
What is their O-line this year?
Christian
'Cause
McCaffrey?
Well, yeah,
It doesn't
obviously.
matter. Stanford's like Alabama. As far as the offensive line goes, it does not matter who they have there. They are going to be.
So
good.
do you have Stanford going to the playoffs?
No, I think Stanford loses 2 games and gets left out of the playoff again.
Okay.
That's more like it.
I don't think they make it to the playoff, but they will win the conference.
Okay. So who would you put then in a second rank? Would you maybe have a USC, Washington, or Oregon?
I put USC 2. I think Week 1 is
Classic
the
California.
big test for SC. They're going
Classic
to
LA
Bama.
insider.
Well, but they're going to Bama. This is where it gets tricky. They're a 10-point dog on a
They have
neutral
a
site
hard
against
start.
Bama.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you never know with Bama. If they come out and they play well, SC's got the talent. They got the 22 to play with Bama. They don't have the 53 man to play with Bama. If that makes
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
So
Jake, who do you got?
that's my pick for the South.
I was going to say Oregon, but I really don't think so.
You have Oregon State beating them. I feel like if that happens, then that's not.
I know. Now that I'm thinking about my biased homer pick. I was shitting on Jeff for Stanford, but honestly,
Oh, yeah, like
I know. I
Yeah,
don't want.
FOH,
I want to
yeah.
pick a hot take, but I think it'll be Stanford. But I'm gonna go hot take, and I'm gonna say UCLA. I was just shitting on Rosen,
it's
but-
not as bad as Logan's Washington take, but it's solid, Jake.
I'll guarantee you right now that Washington will have a better season than UCLA, and I'll bet.
All
that
right,
now.
you want to bet?
Ooh, Logan, I'll make that bet.
All right, deal.
All right, do we have it on
Logan,
record?
don't forget we got a bet on the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Just saying.
If they meet the playoffs.
No, it was who had a better record, and the Dodgers are currently in first place.
Oh,
Cardinals
okay.
are struggling for the wild card.
Did we actually bet that?
We'll have to go back to the tape, but
There
I
was
remember-
definitely some sort of bet from Louie on our last show that
was
involved
from-
a haircut
so-
or a T-shirt or something.
So Haley actually
Yeah.
tweeted it in, and
I'll wear
then
a
Louis
t-shirt.
modified the rules. So
I'll track down that show. There was definitely a bet on air.
there was a bet.
Okay. We'll look into that later. All right,
right.
Grant, and we'll round off the show from there.
Yeah, I'm kind of right where Jake is. I think it's going to be Stanford, but I could also see UCLA up there. I'm going to go Stanford. McCaffrey is unreal. And their offensive line is good every year. They're just so solid and
Heisman
consistent.
2017
It's
predicted
hard.
now.
Probably. He has just as good as odds
Nah.
as anyone.
Rock
Nah,
last year. Nah.
No, this is a whole different subject.
Sure, that's next
Talking
show.
Heisman right now.
We'll talk
Yeah.
college football next show.
We'll talk about next.
Deshaun Watson.
yeah, we'll do a whole
Yeah, it
college
could be
football
Watson.
breakdown next show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll go Stanford. Stanford's a good team, always, just like you said.
So 3 Stanfords and 1 guy picking Washington.
You know it.
Classic UW fan.
What?
I consider Logan a somewhat closeted UW fan.
Oh, that's awful, Logan.
Because of the Huskies and the Alaskan.
I didn't think of that connection, but yeah, for our listeners, Logan is from Alaska, so he has lived in an igloo and made love to a penguin before. So
and mushed Huskies.
Made love to a penguin.
I think that's a good a point as any just to round out this episode.
Yeah. All right. So that has been our official Oregon State season opener preview of Oregon State versus Minnesota, September 1st. Hopefully this show will be out for you guys to listen to our takes before the game. And yeah, Second String Sports starting up this podcast right. And yeah, that's pretty much all we can say. Any last thoughts?
We'll give some personal Twitter shout outs because we haven't
True.
gone over that. We
True.
need to
To the
plug
new
those.
audience.
So Jake
You can follow me at jmcgrady7.
At LT McGinnis.
at Grant Ocampo.
At Gilo Show 6.
Or you can follow our show's Twitter at Second String Sports, sports with a Z. You can hashtag Second String Sports anytime throughout the week. During a game, we'll be live tweeting. If you want us to talk about something specific on a podcast, rant about, talk shit about, basically anything, we got you. We're going
We
to
will
be coming
do it,
at you with,
and-
yeah, we'll do it. So really, this show has no rhyme or reason. We'll talk about anything and everything. Basically, if there's a big breaking topic in sports, we're going to try to fire out a podcast about it. Basically, just anything we can talk about. So,
And thanks for hanging with us for this first show. 'cause
yeah, for all the new listeners.
It's really a test, but we're trying to get it down right.
If you made it this far, you're a dedicated listener. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. All right. So until next time, this has been Second String Sports. Have a good day. Go Beavs.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs.